Watch Tempo with Joe Torres, wherever you stream ABC-7 New York.
This is New York's #1 news, Channel 7 Eyewitness News. With Ken Rosado and Shirley Nalicott, Heather O'Rourke with traffic, and Sam Champion with the exclusive AccuWeather forecast. Now, Eyewitness News this morning.
Big day in a closely watched federal trial in Lower Manhattan today. Closing arguments begin in the penalty phase of the West Side Highway terror attack. Will Sayfullo Saipov face the death penalty?
And Mayor Adams facing pressure in his handling of the migrant crisis. New York City spending millions of dollars a day in taxpayer money to house asylum seekers. Today, Mayor Adams expected to address the issue.
Few flurries as we wake up this morning. Things should clear up, but the damage is already done on the roads. Good morning on this Tuesday, March 7th. I'm Michelle Charlesworth in for Ken.
And I'm Shirley Nalicott. Somebody say the roads. Heather O'Rourke is keeping an eye on them.
Yes, I am. We have an accident on the Garden State Parkway. It's by 136. It's been there for a while. It's not a big accident, but I expect more people, once they get on the roads, things are going to get a little crazy.
Yeah, it all contributes to what we saw this morning as we got on those roadways. When are we clearing out?
A lot of this is wet right now.
Okay.
There's still a little stacked of snow, north and west. Western areas came in with anywhere from 1 inch to almost 2 inches of snow. But as we go through the day, we lose the snow. We'll just get some gusty winds. So I got a lot to talk about this morning. Let's get you on the roads. Here's what's happening. You can see a little light snow shower, fine light snow shower out in city environments. But at 33 degrees, most of our roads are doing just fine out there right now. There's a wind that's west-northwest at about 3 miles per hour. As this small clipper system moves away, the wind's going to whip up behind it. So get ready for the gusty winds of mid-morning, midday, all the way through the evening hours. Hey, Parsippany, we're right around 29 degrees. That's a slippery spot here and there. Montclair's already up above the freezing mark, but Teaneck is below it. So going town to town can be an issue. Now, most of these roads have been wet because of the way this fell overnight. Temperatures have dropped a little bit since that precip started. So some spots, as you drive through, will be a little bit below the freezing mark. Some places will be a little bit above it. I want to keep an eye on wind advisories because they're out now in Pennsylvania, but I think there will be some for us later on today. There's also a little winter weather advisory out for western areas that picked up a little bit more snow. Here's where the snow's falling right now. Northwestern corners of New Jersey and kind of the southern, it's Orange and a little bit of Putnam and Rockland counties as well this morning. Some of this is going to work right across the middle of Long Island. So parts of even Suffolk County. Wow. Hello, Sam. Good morning. We'll have a little bit of a light coating on grassy surfaces. Numbers jump into the 40s, but the sunshine comes out. Heather, what's going on out there right now?
You know, Sam, there was actually a really serious accident on Sunrise Highway in Suffolk County before we got to work. So then that has been cleared away, but please just take it slowly as you drive around. Garden State Parkway, south exit 136. This is that accident I was talking about. It's off on the side of the roadway, but please use caution because the visibility is down a little bit in certain spots and you may miss what's going on. And we have that George Washington Bridge going inbound, looking great. Alternate side of the street parking rules are suspended. Metered rules are in effect. Michelle, over to you.
All right, 5:03. Thank you so much, Heather and Sam. Closing arguments begin today in the penalty phase of the trial against Sayfullo Saipov. Saipov was convicted, as you know, of driving a truck down a Manhattan bike path, killing 8 people. Now a jury will decide whether he should receive the death penalty. Eyewitness News reporter Derek Waller live outside of federal court in Lower Manhattan. Derek, good morning.
And Michelle, prosecutors are trying to convince this jury to do something that, frankly, no New York jury has done in 60 years, and that is send the defendant to death. Reporting live here in Lower Manhattan, Derek Waller, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Derek, thank you for that. Developing this morning, the search is on for a gunman linked to 4 robberies in 3 boroughs. The crime spree turning deadly when the suspect pistol whipped an Upper East Side bodega worker Friday night. Police releasing new video. The suspect in a white Tyvek suit, seen in a different robbery in Brooklyn 2 days earlier. The suspect pulls a gun and then robs the Greenpoint Deli and a customer. In the Upper East Side case, investigators believe there was a struggle at one deli on East 84th Street.
He was being pistol whipped. We do have an injury to his left hand, which could indicate the fact that he put his hand up, tried to defend himself, and the gun may have went off then.
Authorities say they are having trouble identifying the suspect because they are wearing a mask and covering their body with a hood and that white Tyvek suit. The NYPD and United Bodegas of America offering a combined award, $15,000 for information leading to an arrest.
Rapper Travis Scott could meet with NYPD detectives as soon as today for questioning in an alleged assault at a nightclub last week. The Houston rapper's representatives have been in talks with the police department to be interviewed. A sound engineer at Club Nebula in Midtown claims that Scott punched him in the face and damaged about $12,000 worth of audio equipment after he asked him to turn down the volume.
Today, Mayor Adams will make an announcement about the surge of asylum seekers in New York City. During a city council meeting, it was revealed that the city is spending $4.6 million a day to accommodate migrants. Eyewitness News reporter Janice Yu is live outside City Hall with more. Janice, good morning.
Good morning, Shirlene. Yeah, we don't know at this point exactly what that announcement will be, but Mayor Adams did spend some time at a city council hearing yesterday, reiterating just how dire the situation is. Meanwhile, the Biden administration is possibly looking into bringing back a policy that would detain migrant families who cross the border illegally. A DHS spokesperson says, however, no decision has been made as they wait for Title 42 to expire. Live outside of City Hall, Janice Yu, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
This morning, federal authorities are investigating a growing number of air travel incidents. In just the last 2 days, we have seen near collisions, a bird strike, and an attack on flight crew with passengers taking down the suspect. Here's ABC's Lindsay Watts.
Haven't you heard that a lot in the last few months? Every time someone said this could have been the worst air disaster, we should put that clip together and run them back to back. They're just too many, too close together. All right, here's what's going on out there. We've got a little bit of light snow that's dropping from northern New Jersey, southern parts of the Hudson Valley. So Orange County, Rockland County, a little bit of Westchester County as well, working in toward Bergen County this morning. There is also a little bit of light snow and some snow showers working out toward Long Island. So right in the middle of Suffolk County, right as you leave Nassau County, some of that is actually sticking to grassy surfaces, so be super careful this morning. You can see the islip number at 32 degrees, while meantime right around Bridgeport it's 38. So we've got a big spread in temperatures around the area this morning. We'll dry this out with a gusty wind. It's a fast-moving clipper system, but there's some strong wind behind it, a little bit of sunshine and clouds. We'll open it up to about in the mid-40s today for high temperatures. Hi, Heather.
Hello, Sam. Good morning, everybody. LIE Service Road East at the Grand Central Parkway. We have a stall. It's sitting right over there. It has been there for a long time. I don't know what's taking so long to get this stall cleared away, but that is sitting right there as you exit off the LIE getting onto the Grand Central Parkway, so it's not in a great spot. And then this is the Grand Central Parkway right in front of LaGuardia Airport. You can see the Grand Central Parkway is running without any major problems. Brooklyn trains added this morning with Long Island Railroad. Alternate side of the street parking rules suspended. Metered rules are in effect. Michelle, Charlene, over to you.
All right, thanks so much, Heather. 5:12 right now. Connecticut could soon declare a list of state symbols like the state food, pet, and hero. This morning, Governor Lamont is weighing in.
Plus, a new video that shows vandals deface a Christopher Columbus statue near Central Park and what those people wrote. Ahead.
Daytime's #1 talk show returns to the Oscar stage Monday, March 13th.
Today, 3 NYPD officers will be honored for saving children in Brooklyn during a deadly rampage by a U-Haul truck driver last month. A ceremony planned for the officers at the Bay Ridge Preparatory School where they rushed children playing on the street inside as that driver mowed down pedestrians nearby. One person was killed and several were hurt. Police arrested Wang Soor in the series of events which started in Bay Ridge and ended in Red Hook.
Terrifying to see that. New video from the NYPD puts the vandals who defaced the Christopher Columbus statue in Central Park front and center. This was February 26th. They spray painted the words "murderer" and "give us our land back" on the statue. Police are asking for help to find them.
Calling all Connecticut residents, now's the time to make your voice heard when it comes to the state's symbols. The legislature is now considering some naming opportunities for the state's food, dog, hero, and candy. Yep, even the governor's weighing in.
First of all, state food, I'm with the majority there, pizza. I know New Jersey takes offense. They keep talking about their great pizza. I keep telling Phil Murphy, I've never heard of Monmouth pizza, but I sure as heck have heard of Mystic Pizza.
Some things Connecticut has already named are the state polka, which is the Paru polka, and the state fish, which is the American shad.
Oh, it's go time. Them's fighting words. Monmouth pizza, Mystic pizza. That's good stuff.
Man. We've got a list. State dog, state cat, state what? Food, state... okay. All right.
It's a lot.
Hi.
No.
Good morning, everybody. Let's get going this morning. Let's talk about our roads. Let's talk about our conditions. Let's talk about our work in. So this morning, we've got a little light snow shower out there. It's 5:17, and most of our roads are wet. But leave yourself the opportunity and the idea that there's some slippery spots out there, because we have some numbers that are right at the freezing mark, and in some cases a little bit below it. So as you drive down from the Hudson Valley, and particularly northwestern areas and western areas of New Jersey driving in, there are some road surfaces that are carrying a little bit of a slush. Most of them, as you get closer to the city, are wet, but let's spot check these temperatures. Staten Island, right at the freezing mark, some slippery spots there. You can bet it on bridges if they're not treated. 33 in Mill Basin, 32 by the time you get to Woodhaven. Smithtown's at 32 as well. So those are the roads I'm a little suspicious about being great and perfect. So are these northern roads, particularly as you start to get into Sussex County. So watch this little batch of snow from Sussex County go all the way through Bergen County. This is going to work toward Nassau and Suffolk County as well. Some of this is in the lower Hudson Valley. As you get around Kingston, right around 87, there's a little light pocket, but it's more toward Tuxedo. Cortland also looking like it's toward Ossining a little bit as you start to work there. And then you can see Greenwich, New Rochelle's involved in that little line of snow, and it's just north of Fort Lee. But Fort Lee, you'll see a little flurry there as well. It looks like the Jersey Shore is doing great right now. This is the pocket. There's another one right behind that. So this is the line we're going to see it develop on. Partly cloudy sky, stays breezy as we get into the overnight as well, 29 degrees. And this is cooler than we have been. So 48 degrees is where we're going tomorrow, and that's a step in the right direction of getting some milder air in here. 47 is normal, but it is cooler than we have been, and that lasts all the way into the week. Hello, Heather O'Rourke.
Hello, Sam Champion. Let's take a look at 684 South, right near exit 6. We have an overturned vehicle, so expect delays. Again, you just want to take it easy if you're going to be driving this morning. Route 1 South, Wooding Avenue, accident. Northbound, 2 lanes are closed down. Now, we understand southbound everything has been reopened. That's in Edison and the Garden State Parkway South exit 136. It looks like that crash has been cleared. Street cleaning rules suspended. Metered rules are in effect. Shirley, Michelle, over to you.
Heather and Sam, thanks so much. 520, New York's Blood Center has an urgent message about a lack of donors.
Plus an update on a deadly fire in Spring Valley. We just learned the buildings next to the site of the fire had several code violations. Why authorities say that is relevant to their investigation.
Next live, Margot Martindale and Duchess Sarah Ferguson. Plus, on March 13th, Live returns to the Oscar stage for Live's After Oscar show. Watch Live
this morning at 9 on ABC-7.
523 right now. Investigators in Spring Valley say they found violations at properties next door to the site of that deadly fire over the weekend that killed 5 people, including 2 children. That building and the 2 buildings next to it are all owned by Jacob Jeremias. Investigators say they inspected the buildings and found several electrical issues, including missing smoke and carbon monoxide detectors and illegal single-room occupancies. So far, no charges have been filed.
New York's Blood Center declares its first blood emergency of 2023. The agency says New York's blood supply has dipped to a level that prompted an alert. Health officials say last month, blood centers nationwide received 6,000 fewer donations compared to February of last year. Hospitals report blood donations are 12% below patient needs. The New York Blood Center says poor weather, cold and flu season, and school breaks contributed to the blood emergency. 524 right now. Meta announces another round of job cuts. More on the company's plan to cut back on spending.
Let's get ready for a messy commute this morning. Sam Champion tracking some flurries, and Heather O'Rourke has an update on the impact on the roads.
When you need to know fast, turn first to Channel 7 Eyewitness News, first at 4.
On the money this morning, overseas, Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index closed lower. Japan's Nikkei average closed higher.
Wall Street, the Dow gained 40 points. Futures are pointing to a higher open.
It is 5:28. Closing arguments begin today in the penalty phase of a terror trial in New York. Will Sayfullo Saipov face the death penalty?
We are tracking some flurries this morning. Sam Champion returns with another check of weather, and Heather O'Rourke has more on the snow's impact on the roads.
Now, New York's #1 news. Channel 7 Eyewitness News this morning.
Mayor Adams facing pressure about his response to the migrant crisis in New York City. The city spending nearly $5 million a day to house asylum seekers. Today, Adams will address his plan.
A convicted terrorist soon could be sentenced to death for ramming a truck into several people in New York City. 8 people were killed. What we can expect in court today.
Well, things are starting to clear up after some overnight flurries. The weather is impact on your morning commute. Coming up, good morning to you on this Tuesday, March 7th. I'm Shirley Nallicott.
And I'm Michelle Charlesworth in for Ken Rosado. Thanks for being with us on all of our platforms, including Hulu Live TV.
You are never more than 7 minutes away from weather and traffic. Heather O'Rourke standing by with the conditions on the roads, how the weather's impacting it. We begin with Sam Champion in the AccuWeather forecast. Sam?
So we're just trying to get this little last line or two of snow, light snow showers out of the way. This wasn't a big event for most of the areas, but we have picked up, in some cases, a ½ inch to about 2 inches of snow. And you can see where it's falling right now. So it's a little bit further north than the guidance would have told you if you were watching the shows yesterday. That guidance had put it right through western New Jersey, northern New Jersey, and straight across the city. This is a little bit more of a lift here, a little bit more north. So right through the northern border of New Jersey, right through the southern border of New York, that's where that snow is falling right now. It's some light snow. This gets into the city. It gets into Nassau County, some areas of Suffolk County. So the trouble comes when our numbers that you see here are 32 or below, because that's where it gets a little bit slippery in spots. Teaneck's at 32, Parsippany's below that at about 30 degrees. New City's a little bit above it, so be very careful. In the 5 boroughs, Ozone Park and Staten Island are the numbers that are right at the freezing mark, where roads can be at their slipperiest. And as you start to work up the Hudson Valley, it's only elevation that gives you numbers that you've got to worry about. We'll talk about this light snow ending, and it does pretty quickly with a strong gusty wind and some cooler temperatures for highs. Heather, what's going on?
Well, right before I came over here to stand over here, I was reading on my computer, an accident just popped up, Route 10 at Knollwood Road. We do have an accident and all lanes are closed in both directions. Route 1 south at Wooding Avenue accident northbound, you have 2 lanes closed down. We heard that the southbound side was open, but it's not. There are some closures on the southbound side of Route 1 as well. And the Garden State Parkway south exit 136, that crash cleared. Street cleaning rules are in effect. Shirlene, over to you.
They're suspended. Got it. Thank you for that, Heather. Today, Mayor Adams is going to make an announcement related to the surge of migrants seeking asylum in New York City. A recent city council meeting revealed the crisis is costing taxpayers about $4.6 million a day. It is also overwhelming the shelter system. In 2022, about 45,000 people were in the system. Now, there are nearly 80,000. Eyewitness News reporter Janice Yu live at City Hall with more. Janice, good morning.
Good morning, Shirlene. Mayor Eric Adams has said time and time again that if the city does not receive help from the federal government, it will ultimately impact city services.
Janice, thank you. A hate-filled attack in Queens, and now the victim is speaking out after 2 suspects were charged in the attack on her son on her and her son in Queens. Police arrested 2 of 3 people in the incident on Junction Boulevard and Roosevelt Avenue in Corona last week. The NYPD says 18-year-old Natalie Plaza and her 21-year-old boyfriend Elijah Fernandez got out of an SUV, shouted anti-Asian slurs, and attacked the mother and son. The mother suffered a concussion, and her son ended up with a skull fracture.
They were saying ugly Asians. They tried to kept screaming at us and taunting us. I can't even sleep. It's traumatizing.
The mother tells us she is planning a rally later this week against violence and hate crimes. Police are still searching for a 3rd suspect in the attack.
5:35 today, a potentially historic day in court. Closing arguments begin in the penalty phase of the Sayfullo Saipov terror trial. He was convicted of ramming a truck into people on a Manhattan bike path, killing 8 and severely injuring others in 2017. It was the deadliest terror attack in New York since 9/11. Eyewitness News reporter Derek Waller joins us now live outside of federal court in Lower Manhattan with more on this. Derek, good morning.
Michelle, good morning from outside 500 Pearl Street here in Lower Manhattan. And, you know, this trial did end with a guilty verdict, but then the jury had to listen to even more testimony, weeks more of testimony, in what was essentially a second trial, this time to decide if he should be put to death.
Officials in Suffolk County have identified the mother and daughter involved in a deadly plane crash on Long Island Sunday afternoon. 63-year-old Roma Gupta was killed in the crash. 33-year-old Riva Gupta was seriously hurt. A GoFundMe has been set up showing a photo of them. The women from New Jersey had purchased a pleasure flight through Groupon a short time after the small single-engine plane took off from a public airport. The pilot issued a mayday.
Looked out the window and I see one explosion, and then I yelled for my husband, and then before you know it, he didn't even make it to the living room. Another big explosion.
Wow, the small plane crashed in the street close to the LIRR tracks. No one on the ground was hurt. A call for action today on lithium-ion batteries after a 5-alarm fire destroyed a building in the Bronx over the weekend. New York Congressman Richie Torres will introduce legislation mandating new safety standards. The bill will require the Consumer Product Safety Commissioner to create guidelines for use in mobile devices, e-scooters, and bikes. Fire officials say more than 400 fires in the city have been caused by lithium-ion batteries in the last 4 years.
Yeah, that's way too many. All right, let's get going this morning. So whenever you see a number that's at 32 degrees or a little bit below that, and we're at 33 in the park right now, that's the stuff you've got to be a little bit suspicious of. We've got a little light pocket of snow flurries and snow showers. It's making the line right here from Sussex to White Plains. Wayne's involved in this. It's right on the northern part of the New Jersey border with New York State. So as that slides down, it's going to catch a little bit of Nassau and the western end of Suffolk County. So be careful, because temperatures there are right around the freezing mark. So most of us are clear. Most of this is wet. As we go through the day today, we'll jump into the 40s. Now, it's colder than it was yesterday at about 50 degrees. Our normal high temperatures right around 47 will be 44. Oh, and there's a strong gusty wind with that, so it'll feel like it's in the 30s with some sunshine. Heather, what's up?
Route 1 north from Plainfield Avenue to Old Post Road in Edison, an accident. We have only the left lane open, and then a commuter alert in Livingston, New Jersey. Route 10 both ways between Shrewsbury Road and Livingston Avenue. Accident with a down pole, so all lanes are closed in both directions. 684 South Exit 6, it's an overturned vehicle. Checking out the LIE Service Road east at the Grand Central Park. I've been talking about this since 4:30 this morning. You can see this disabled vehicle right there in the right lane. And look at that traffic heading towards the city. Street cleaning rules are suspended, but the metered rules are in effect. Michelle, Charlene, back to you.
All right, thanks so much. 5:40, everything everywhere all at once is all the buzz for Sunday's Oscars. And while some people loved it, lots of people didn't. Maybe they just didn't get it. Could a generation gap be to blame for this disparity?
Closed captioning is sponsored by Raymore and Flanagan. In stock and delivered in 3 days or less.
Rise and shine. Here's a look at your sunrise and sunset times for today. Sponsored by Spectrum One. Spectrum One has internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and mobile for just $49.99 a month. One connection, total connectivity. Visit spectrum.com today.
5:43, we are just 5 days away from the 95th Academy Awards. The movie Everything Everywhere All at Once took home another prize at the last major award ceremony. The Writers Guild of America called the original script for the film the year's best. But not everyone loves this movie.
What?
No. Entertainment reporter Sandy Kenyon has the story. Stay with Channel 7 for a special lineup next Sunday. We kick things off at 1 p.m. with the countdown to the Oscars. Then there is a special edition of World News Tonight at 4:30 p.m., followed by Eyewitness News at 5. Are you following this? Then on the red carpet live at 5:30. At 6:30, it's the Oscars pre-show. The main event begins at 8, followed by Eyewitness News and American Idol. And then don't forget to tune into Live with Kelly Ryan, because, you know, they have that awesome After the Oscars show at 9 Monday morning. Lots of programming.
So we are everything Oscars all the time. That's all you need to know.
All at once.
Right? All at once.
Back to the film. Thank you for bringing us back.
Right?
I didn't get it, but that's probably because I fell asleep. That's not the movie that you could fall asleep in the middle of and then wake up and you come to and you're like, okay, so catch me up. No, right?
Loved every minute of it. I would go see it 100 times. I loved that movie. I think there were so many stories wrapped up in that movie that you need to see it more than once to just kind of get every conversation.
You need to be awake through the whole thing.
Being awake, I think, would be a good part. Although you don't need to be awake for this.
No.
Take a little nap, hit the snooze button, but then be awake later today. Let's get to the wall. We'll show you exactly what it looks like. So we've got a little light snow shower. Now this started a little bit before 2 o'clock this morning for the city environment. We had it a little bit earlier in western parts of New Jersey, also in parts of the Hudson Valley. The line is a little bit north than anticipated, so if you're just now waking up, then we've got to talk about that. 33 degrees outside right now. Relative humidity still pretty high, so we moved the last little batch or two out of the way. It's very, very light right now, but in the places that it does drift by, that's where we're going to see some problems on roads and sidewalks. So 34 degrees, 33 degrees, we're fine here. City Field's right around 35. That's good as well. Staten Island's right at 32, so careful. There's a lot of bridges, on-ramps, off-ramps, Staten Island, so you need to watch all of those. Newark's doing fine, but some of these areas north and west of the city are right at the freezing mark as well. Here's that little light leftover snow. You can see the batch ending near Washington, but look right at that from Lake Mohawk all the way toward New Rochelle. Greenwich is involved in this right now. East Hills, Plainview, Hauppauge right now, and we're looking at, I don't know why my pronunciation is off this morning. I think I just have a little coffee hangover, but we're watching the moisture pull away from the Jersey Shore this morning. Change of clocks by the time we get to the weekend as well. Hello, Heather O'Rourke.
Hello, Sam Champion. We have an overturned vehicle reported on 80, and it's right near exit 12. And we also have this problem here. Route 1 north, Plainfield Avenue to Old Post Road, accident. Only the left lane is getting by. Commuter alert in Livingston, New Jersey. Route 10 both ways between Shrewsbury Road and Livingston Avenue. Accident with a down pole, so all lanes are completely shut down through that stretch. An overturned vehicle still being cleared 684 south right near exit 6. This has been out there for a while. This is the LIE Service Road East, right near the Grand Central Parkway. Do you see this vehicle right here? That vehicle has been sitting in the right lane with the flashers on since about 4:30 this morning. So we're keeping our eye on that, and we have alternate side of the street parking rules suspended, but the metered rules are in effect. Michelle and Charlene, over to you.
All right, thanks so much. 5:50, major problems on Twitter. Some users unable to access the site yesterday. What was behind the service disruption next?
Plus, a key deadline today as the Giants attempt to reach a contract agreement with quarterback Daniel Jones, how the negotiations impact another star player's contract.
Eyewitness News needs your help to protect our children. Have you seen Nicholas? ABC-7 thanks you for helping to protect our children.
5:52. The clock is ticking for the New York Giants. They have about 10 hours to work out a deal with Daniel Jones. Big Blue is said to be closing the gap.
5:53, an update to a stampede over the weekend at a concert in Rochester this morning. The death toll rising. More on what caused the panic ahead at 5.
Plus, once again, Barbie shows why she breaks barriers. The new doll modeled after a woman scientist.
Lights, camera, Oscars. It's Hollywood's biggest night. ABC-7 brings you every moment. Live coverage kicks off on the red carpet at 1, followed by Eyewitness News before we're back on the red carpet for all the star-studded glamour. Then the main event, the Oscars, with Jimmy Kimmel back as host, followed by Eyewitness News, and the party doesn't stop there. Hollywood's biggest night means an epic morning. Wake up with Eyewitness News, GMA, then Kelly and Ryan's After Oscar show at 9. The Oscars Sunday. Live coverage starts at 1, only on ABC-7.
Closing in on 6 o'clock. Today could be the day rapper Travis Scott returns to New York City to talk to police about a recent incident at a nightclub, the potential charges he could face.
Plus, the controversial measures the Biden administration is now considering to limit the influx of asylum seekers entering the U.S. Sam?
So we've still got a little light pocket of snow drifting from northern New Jersey here. Look, Wyckoff's involved in it, Patterson as well, Yonkers, North Bergen. This is going to move across northern parts of the 5 boroughs. Most of our roads are wet, but we'll highlight the places that are not. Heather, what's going on?
Well, we have a bunch going on now. 80 west right near exit 12, overturned vehicle. Commuter alert in Livingston, New Jersey. Route 10 both ways between Shrewsbury Road and Livingston Avenue. Accident with a down pole. All lanes are shut down through that spot. Route 1 north, Plainfield Avenue to Old Post Road. That accident has been cleared away. Alternate side of the street parking rules are suspended, but the metered rules are in effect. And we'll be right back after the break.
Movies are dreams that you never forget.
It's the most magical place in the world. You stop making movies, it'll break your mother's heart.
This is larger than any of us.